Let me see if that's there. Let me check and see if y'all got volume and y'all can hear me. All of that good stuff. Okay. Yeah, so that's good. I can cut that down. Welcome everyone. Apologies. Did not make the 6 o'clock, so we're doing it at 8. And tried to cram it in, but I really had to get some things out of the way which were already planned, but no matter. Welcome everybody to day 18. Wow, we're like 18. We're like almost 2/3 of the way, something like that. Day 20 would be 2/3 of the way if we're doing the old school math. But welcome everyone. Still get a stretch, even though it's evening time. And up, down, and all of that good stuff. So I was reading a couple of the posts, and some of the stuff there that'll help me with getting the topics there as I go along. I don't have them like already set for the whole fast, just as I go along. So what I came up today was traveling and maintaining consistency, traveling and maintaining your fast, or just traveling overall and doing healthy eating. And I travel a lot, but I've been doing this for a long, long time. So it's, it's easier that way, and not easier, but I'm accustomed to it. So it's not a big challenge. Let me share this to the group. I forgot about that part. And so everybody else will know that we're on here. I guess that helps. If I let people know, you'll bear with me a second. I guess I can type it in. And that'll. Okay. I think that's that. And okay, I'm back with you. Sorry about that. I forgot I didn't share it to the group. So that's not going to let anybody in the group know I'm here. And let me see. One more thing here. Bear with me. So I do a couple of different things. So looks like everything that's coming in is from my music feed. So okay, so we're back here. Sorry about that. My apologies. So traveling, and I'll say traveling and visiting and maintaining consistent regimen and eating and lifestyle that you created for yourself. And in the case of the fast, maintaining your fast. So the biggest part I'll start with is, and I'm not going to be on here long, it's wind down time for me. And I got some things I have to do before I turn it in. But one of the things is preparation mentally. That's the biggest part, preparing mentally. And if you're fasting, let's say if you're doing, I'll say juicing, are you going to be able to bring your juice, or do they have a juicer where you're going to, or are there places? So let's say you're going from state to state. Do they have juice bars or a wholesale or a place you can get juice and get what you need and store it? Or can you just use, like if you're getting an Airbnb, maybe you can just use the blender and blend up with water and whatever you're juicing, fruits, greens, and strain it and make do that way. Or if you're blending and you're traveling, do they have a blender, or you need to bring your blender, or whatever. And if you got fruit, if you can bring some with you, or just find where you can get some when you're there. So that's a lot with the prep work. And mentally, just knowing you'll be able to, not, am I going to be able to? I'm going to, and okay, so what am I going to do to assure that I'm going to? Hey, good evening, Colleen. I think my phone might have went out. I guess I'm going to grab the other phone uh, just so I can check in with y'all folks. My apologies. We just all miscombobbled today. So, but we're going to get it together. So so we were talking about the prep work with traveling. Cut the volume down here, so I'm not hearing like a couple of different things at once. Okay, that's good there. And so mentally establishing that you're going to that I'm going to still stay on my fast, or I'm still going to eat this and keep this lifestyle that I got when I'm traveling, and establish that you're going to, and then get to figuring out the how. And then that might be seen what produce stores are in that area, or if you're staying with family, if they have a blender, if they have a juicer, if they have refrigerator space for you, or whatever the things are. So that becomes our personal responsibility to do that. It's not the responsibility of everyone else to create space for our choice. Now, it's great when they do, and often, show gratitude. Not often, always show gratitude when that's the case. But when that's not the case, don't get an attitude with that, or that you're slighted, or they know I'm vegan. How come they didn't have a salad? And that's not for anyone else to understand that process. That's for you or me to understand. That's my choice, and go with that. But now, so see your resources where you're going. There's like so many, ways now. You can Google health food stores, food co-ops, and whatever town. Happy Cow is one webpage, and rawfoods.com. And there's so many resources nowadays. You can have that, but sometimes just when you get there and you drive around and you see a guy on the side of the road selling fruits and vegetables, and you get something, and you get a cooler and all of that. Now, like on this particular trip, I've got like my blender, my water distiller, my juicer, and that's not generally how I travel. I just happen to have those because I didn't know in the course of this traveling if I was going to just stay. Good evening, Tina. If I was going to stay where I'm at and don't come back to where I've been living all my life. So I just kind of packed like this might be the move. So just in case. So this isn't normally the case. I'm wife here, I fooled around and made some. I made a big thing. I'll get it here. A big thing of green juice. And I'll probably have that tomorrow. And the fruits were fine. I just, who is it? Yvette, one of the group members, she had a glass of green juice, and people have been posting green juice every day. People are doing green juice fast. But that particular day, that appealed to me. I made some green juice that day, and then I had fruits the next day. And then the following day, I just didn't feel like eating. I just wanted juice. So I made up a batch, and then the same thing today. And it's leafy greens and some watermelon. Sweetness. Yeah, my water. This is my little exercise watermelon here, that I could do my curls with. So I got me a couple of nice watermelons here, and I have this. And actually, they're pretty good size too. So I can do like some of those things too. So, but I'm using those and my green juice, and that's just what I'm doing. No rhyme or reason. But generally speaking, when I'm traveling, I just find for me, the simpler I keep it, the better. A friend of mine's Orville, he has a 31-day fruit feast. Yeah, 31-day fruit feast. And so it's just sweet, watery fruit, and that's it, except distilled water and fresh coconut water. As your option. But that's like really simple if you're if you're traveling, even if fruitarian is not your lifestyle, but if you're going away for the weekend and you're a vegan or you're on your fast, it's so simple to just say, it's going to get me a bag full of oranges and it's going to eat oranges. You're going to feel great. You're going to continue to heal and detox and get better. And it's not complicated. You don't have to put so much mental space into where am I going to get this? Am I going to have enough? And as you go along on the fast, especially if you've been doing this here and you're on day 18, you should kind of be detached from that notion of this large amount of food I need to have and I need to have prepared. I don't feel like moving the computer, but I'm a dad. I don't feel like my refrigerator. You might say looks bare, and it's not a big refrigerator, but what I need, I have. I got juice for now, and if I just feel like eating, I open up a watermelon, and and that's it. And I got some sunflower seeds and raisins, and I might make some sunflower milk. Good evening, Kathy. Gabor, is that pronounced Gabor, like Ava Green Acres and Jaja Gabor? Welcome in. So we're at day 18. So traveling and maintaining consistency for me is best when I make it as simple as possible. Now, there was a time when I traveled, I used that time, and this is my own personal experience. I use that time and I visit restaurants. I said, let me see what raw vegan restaurants. So I've been to raw vegan restaurants, let me see, in the US, in Oakland, San Francisco, LA, Long Beach, Houston, I think North Carolina, Vegas, Atlanta and Atlanta outskirts, DC, Philly, New York, Florida, and then outside of the US, lots of different places. The Czech Republic, let's see, in Jamaica. So that was be one of the things I would do. Good evening, Arthur. Is check out Raw Vegan Restaurant. And from time to time I do now, but because I eat pretty simple and most of the time fruit, they're a little heavy. Like it's hard to digest that stuff because I'm not used to it and it's not as watery as what I'm used to. So usually if I have that, it's okay. I enjoy it and I've had some wonderful meals. And then the next day I'm either eating fruit or just have water. Most of the time I just have water or coconut water just to hydrate myself. So some of you, so that is something you can do too, if if you're able to, and you're, you want to donate that, some money to that for just a little fun thing. You can say, well, while I'm here, let me check out a vegan restaurant or a raw vegan restaurant, or whatever I'm doing, or let me just treat myself and just get some fruit somewhere, or go to a smoothie bar and just make your own custom. I'm here in Costa Rica and I went in town and I just wanted papaya and pineapple. And she said, let me just put a little bit of water. I said, no. And a little juice. And she said, the juice was fresh. And I said, no. And she just did. And she had a Vitamix, so I know it would be fine. But she didn't see how that could work without adding something to it. But I just told her to put the papaya in and blend it slow and then put the pineapples on top of it. And she did it. And she made more than I needed, but she had some for herself. And she really liked that. But a lot of times you don't have to have a good blender to blend like bananas or papaya or stuff like that. So you make do. So in the traveling, part of consistency is don't overcomplicate it. Don't put an extra burden of these have-tos. And I have to have this and it needs to be that. And, it needs to be that. You could still stay within being true to yourself and maybe have flexibility as far as other stuff. So, you might not have all the utensils and make the elaborate vegan meals that you used to making at home, but you can make something nice and simple and healthy where you add, if you're a vegan and you cook foods, and you might say, okay, I don't need a lot of utensils to soak and maybe boil some quinoa and chop up some kale or collards or something and steam that and, and put some seasoning on it and mix that all together. Maybe throw an avocado and some black olives on it. And that doesn't take a lot to do, so you can manage if you be creative and extend yourself, with your creative thoughts that I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make it fun. And sometimes, you could just make something that's like, well, at least I nourished myself, and just laugh about it. And, don't make it so complicated. So simple is better for me when traveling. And also, if you're able to, it's a good time to, maybe try out a vegan restaurant, or you can always invite some friends. So, let's say you're at friends or families and they're not vegan. So you can offer to let them try it out, or offer to have them ask if they want to participate in preparing a vegan meal with you. I know now, like when I go home, we go to a mom's, which is like family home, and I go for the holidays. And I don't go a lot, but I've been going more now. I guess because mom is getting up there in age and it's a big deal for her. But a lot of times I'm somewhere, some country or some state somewhere, and I don't go to, and I don't do like the big eating like that. But when I'm there, I make a salad, and there's a raw corn dish and a dressing and stuff like that. So rather than wanting them to include me, I included them, and I started just making them and putting them there. And there's a little fear or concerns or something like that. Like, well, I put it there, and they might not like it, and they might say, "What is this? Who made this?" Or Uncle Mark, So, but that was okay with me, because what I made, I like, and if they didn't eat it, I was just going to have leftovers yesterday. Like they do when they have their meals. So that so that was that was good for me. Let me just check in here. So but once I started doing that, now when I come, they'd say, "Well, Uncle Mark, why do we have to ask you? That's like your job when you come, is to make the vegan dishes." So like when we gave Mom her 80th birthday party, that was my job, to make the vegan dishes. And I think I made the corn dish, and I made a big salad, and I made my watermelon lemonade, and that was good, and they loved it, and it gives them a chance to taste something. So that's an option, and there's no converting anyone. So and I also, I've kind of made it known at these functions that I just want a fellowship. I don't want to have workshops, or why do you do this or that. If they're interested in something, we can do that at another time, or we can do it as a whole, but not why do you do this? I'm not there to explain where I'm getting my protein or anything like that. And it's a way of saying it in a loving way. Hey, look, right now I'm focusing on sharing my meal and time with the family. And those other things we can talk about at another time. So, and I've gotten better at doing that. And so that's one of the things. When I'm traveling alone, it's like really simple. I mean, I traveled with the kids, so we were my former lady and my two sons, and our two sons, and grandniece, and so we just to travel, load the van up. We were the Beverly Hillbillies, the vegan Beverly Hillbillies, and we just loaded up everything and shopped and got our food ahead of time and put them in the freezer. Before we found with the electric portable refrigerator, we put them in the cooler and make ice, and we'd have all our food when we get there and prepare and have snacks for them for the ride. And we did decent sized road trips, 5 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. So we would do these road trips, and and that became our responsibility. And for a while we was like, they won't even make counter space for us, they don't do all of that. And so we had to just acknowledge that they didn't decide to be vegan, we did. So that's on us to create a way for us to exist that way. It's not for them. That would be nice, but it's still not their responsibility. So when you're traveling, and I'm gonna get off here because I want to get I have some stuff to get done before the day is over. When you're traveling, try to keep it as simple as possible and commit to staying on it beforehand. Make the mental commitment and do the research, and don't just say, okay, well, whatever happens this weekend, I'm going to get back to my routine. When I get back home, I'll get back on my routine, because then you set a precedent of when I'm traveling or when I'm visiting, then I can't maintain. And it's not true. I am ultimately in charge of the outcome. Now there are, of course, environment, universe, and there's all of these extenuating circumstances, but that's very rare that happens. It's really, if I haven't maintained it, it's basically because I've made a choice to not do what was necessary to maintain it. So make the commitment, and stay with it. I'm going to get off here. Peace and abundance to everybody. You'll enjoy the rest of the evening. And what are we on? Today is Thursday. So Friday will be the 6 o'clock, and then Saturday and Sunday is 10 in the morning. But I got to look at it. I think Sunday's a travel day, but maybe Monday. I'll see. But we'll work through it. And tomorrow we have one of the brothers growing up in the neighborhood. That's, like a little brother, but he's, he was big rock back then. But Ricky will be sharing with us on Friday. So we'll stream it together, and then we'll listen and watch him share. And I have his topic there, but I'll have it posted up there, and we'll be ready for that. So you'll enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will touch base with y'all tomorrow. Peace and abundance.